So make yourself comfortable on your backs. Be willing to use any props in order to get comfortable. So notice if you'd like to have something underneath the knees or support the head. Do you want an extra, if you're on a hard floor, maybe you'd like to open a blanket underneath you? It's easier to drop into a state of meditation when we're not distracted by discomforts in the physical body. And to start our practice this morning, I'd like to do just a little movement in the low back. So just creating some ease in the low back here before we get going. So bending the knees, feet are in the floor. And then I'll bring the knees and the feet all the way together so they're touching. So you're just kind of squeezing the knees and the inner edges of your feet together. And the upper body can rest wherever you'd like. That might be arms out wide or palms on your belly or anywhere in between, just wherever is most comfortable. And we're going to come into a very small sacral rock. So you're going to take the knees and move them side to side, keeping the feet fully planted in your mat. So notice or bring your attention to what's occurring on the outer edges of the feet, or in particular the mounds of the big toes, so that they stay anchored, and you're just moving a few inches side to side across the sacrum. As we're finding this small movement, you might also begin to connect into your breath. We will be coming into a pranayama practice before the meditation. You notice what's going on for you in your low back and sacrum and pelvic area this morning or today. And then if you feel safe doing so, you can begin to make this movement a little larger, allowing the edges of the feet to come off. It is a twist, so be honest with yourself and how warmed up you feel right now and how safe your low back feels moving into the twist. So you can keep this really small or begin to make it bigger if that feels right for you. And we'll bring the knees back upright and take our feet hip width apart. And then we'll find our way into our hip sliders or hikers. So the buttocks stays on the floor and you're just sliding one hip up towards the armpit and then the other. So sliding up the mat towards the shoulder. Movements are small and mindful. And we'll bring that to center and find our way into hip hikers. So if you press into the right foot and take the hip bone towards the ceiling, the opposite buttocks stays on your mat, and then reverse that, lower that cheek, and then bring, or hip bone, and then bring the other hip bone up, press into the left foot, left hip bone goes up to the ceiling, back down, and the right hip bone. Again, movements are small and mindful. And either movement, the knees do not sway side to side. They might move in a scissor motion towards you and away from you. Otherwise, the movement is rather small. And you can alternate between these two. So you might do a few hip hikers, sliders, and then move into hip pointers. So just small mindful movements for our pelvic region and the sacrum and low back. And then from here, take this into pelvic tilt. So bring everything to center, tuck the tailbone under. You'll feel the low back flatten into the floor, and then reverse that and feel a little space in the lumbar spine. And then tuck under, and then create that space. We're just posteriorly tilting and anteriorly tilting the pelvis. Relax the feet. So notice if you're pressing into the feet to create the movement, and see if you can just generate this just from your core. And then we'll go ahead and draw, bring that to neutral and draw the knees into the chest, hands on your knees. Coming into our Apanasana, first just hug the knees in close, feel that stretch through the low back. And then we'll do a little movement here. So as the arms, as you push the knees away, just arm length, so the hands stay on the knees, it's an inhale. Pull the knees in close, and it's an exhale. Inhale away, exhale towards you, knees to chest, or Apanasana. Connect with the breath and the movement. And then we can take this into knee circles, circling the knees. Hands stay on the knees, and they just take them around in one direction. Nice little massage on the sacrum, low back. And circling the other way. And then from here, placing the feet back into your mat, extending the legs along the floor. And at this point in time, putting something under the knees, which is very, if you choose, which is nice support for the low back, but you don't have to. Notice where you would like to rest the upper body. And so again, the arms might be out wide, palms up. You might place your palms on your belly. Just whatever allows you to feel most comfortable and safe. And when you've found that position, just find your way into a nice steady breath. And notice the quality of your breath today. If there's any congestion, or maybe it's been a while since you've taken a deep breath, just experience the body breathing and noticing what you're feeling. The sensations as the air moves through the nostrils. You might feel the belly rise and fall, or the chest expand. And then we'll go ahead from here and start to lengthen the breath. Just finding about an 85% of capacity. So the inhale brings you to fullness, but it's comfortable. You still might have a little room, a little extra room if need be. And then the exhale, the breath slowly releases And you're creating an evenness between the two, an evenness in the length of the breath between the inhale and the exhale. Just finding your rhythm here with this. So I'm going to guide you into first a interrupted inhale. And this particular breath brings energy in. And then we're going to pause, feel that, and we're going to move into an interrupted exhale, which is more calming and releasing as we move into the guided visualization from there. So what we'll do first is on each inhale, you're going to break that inhale into 3 parts. So you're going to inhale a third of the way and pause, and then another third and pause, and then fill up completely on the top of the breath there, the third part of the breath. Pause for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then very slowly and smoothly let the breath out. And I'm going to guide you through the first couple rounds. So wherever you are with your breath, go ahead and empty it out completely. And then we'll inhale a third of the way and pause. Another third of the way and pause. And then complete the breath and pause. And then slowly and smoothly release the breath out. And we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So again, inhale a third of the way through the nose, pause. Another third of the way and pause. Fill the breath up to the top of the breath and pause. And then out through the mouth, slowly and steady. Let the breath go. And we'll inhale a third of the way. Another third. Fill up completely. Hold at the top of the breath 3 to 5 seconds. And slowly, steadily let the breath out through the mouth. So on your own, for another 2 minutes, inhale 3 parts and slowly releasing the breath. At the completion of your next exhale, let go of shaping the breath and just feel the practice. Feel the results of the practice so far. Notice any shifts, maybe tingling or energy beneath the skin, whatever it is. Feel the echo of the practice so far. So now we're going to reverse that, except you're still going to inhale through the nose. Actually, no, we're going to inhale, reversing all of that. So you're going to inhale through the mouth and then exhale 3 parts through the nose. And then if you're comfortable doing so, you will pause for 3 to 5 seconds at the bottom of that exhale. And then a nice smooth breath in. And then begin to exhale in 3 parts. I'm going to let you do this on your own. Holding after the exhale for 3 to 5 seconds. And then a smooth breath in. If it's uncomfortable in any way to hold the breath after the exhale, allow your breath to just come right back in. It's important to remember as we work through pranayama practice, it should never be uncomfortable or you shouldn't feel any strain or stress. At the completion of the next exhale, let go of any shaping of the breath. And once again, just simply feel the echo of the practice within you. We're going to move into our guided meditation here today. So first, notice if there's any adjustments that you would like to make in your body. Any little movements or shifts that would help you be that much more comfortable. And begin to feel your body becoming heavy. A feeling of heaviness as your body drops into the floor. We're going to become aware first of the areas of our body that are considered the earth element. This consists of our skeleton, all of our bones, our teeth, our nails, and our cartilage. Just notice what your relationship is to these elements within you of earth. What would it be like if we didn't have a skeleton keeping us upright, supporting our structure? Now let's bring the awareness to the floor that you're lying on. And then we notice that the floor is supported by a foundation. And the foundation is supported by the earth. Imagine now yourself in your favorite place in nature, some place that you like to visit. This could be in your imagination, it could be a real place you've been to. And imagine yourself lying on the earth there. Notice what it is that you're lying on. Is it sand? Is it grass? Maybe it's leaves, pine needles. What is the texture of what you're lying on? Is it warm, soft, moist, dry, hard? Does it have any colors? Like the bright green of fresh grass or the beige of sand? Notice the smells of the earth. Allow yourself to be with the element of earth and notice what it feels like for you within and outside of you. Rest in gratitude for the element of earth. Now let's become aware of the breath, of your breath, no shaping it. And just notice where you experience the breath in your body. Breathing in this life force. Maybe you're noticing the air around you. From here, let's take ourselves either back to your favorite place we visited for the element of earth, or maybe you'd like to go to a new location. And notice what kind of plants are around there. Are there trees, bushes, flowers? Take 3 deep, full breaths here and notice the quality of the air. Does it have moisture to it? Does the air feel dry? Is it warm or cool? Is there a scent in the air? Is it still? Or do you maybe feel a light breeze blowing along your skin? Notice again the plants around you and breathe in the oxygen that these plants provide. Feel that relationship that you have to the plants around you, breathing in the oxygen they provide. Rest in gratitude for these plants and their life-giving force. Now bring your attention to the temperature of your body. Notice if you feel particularly warm, or maybe you're feeling a little coolness, or just right. Just noticing the temperature of your body. And this fire that we have within us regulates our body temperature, and it also regulates our digestion. And so, what is your relationship to your digestion? It requires the element of fire to process the nutrients we consume. And sometimes it might feel dampened and our digestion might feel slow. And just noticing your digestion. Let's again take our journey into nature. It can be one of the places you've been to already or a brand new place once again. And notice the sun. Where's the sun in this location for you? Is it high in the sky? Is the sun rising or setting? Is it hot? Or is it a cooler day? You might have one time felt the intensity of the sun when you experienced a sunburn here. Or noticing how cold or quickly the temperature drops when the sun sets. Just noticing the power the sun has on our comfort level. Be aware of how all life forms on this planet are dependent on the sunlight. And rest in gratitude for that amazing ball of fire in the sky. Now we're going to bring our attention to the water element within you. This would be your saliva, your nasal secretions, sweat, urine, spinal fluid. As we age, we begin to notice things drying out like our skin or our joints. Notice how important this moisture is to the body. Let's take yourself to your favorite body of water. It might be a lake, an ocean, a river. This might be a place in your imagination or a place you've gone to before. Is the water warm or cold? Or maybe it's just right. Is it still or moving? Is it salty or fresh? What would it feel like to submerge yourself in this body of water and surrender to it? Just floating. Rest in gratitude for the various forms of water the planet has on her. Now begin to observe the whole planet and all she contains. Notice how each element is necessary for our survival and the survival of the planet. Without oxygen to breathe, without the air, there is no life. Without water to drink, there is no life. Without the sun to provide the warmth and light, there is no life. And without the element of the earth holding it all together, there is no life. Rest in gratitude for the elements within and outside yourself. Know that you are the microcosm to the macrocosm. You and the earth are the same. Begin by taking a few deep breaths. Making a little movement, maybe wiggling some fingers and toes or bending the knees. Finding your way back to the day. Slowly rolling to one side. And back up to a seated position just for a moment. Hands together at your hearts. A slight bow of the head, honoring this time of self-care, a choice that you made to be here. And I thank you for allowing me to take the seat of teacher. Namaste.
Namaste.